right, you guys? Podcast time.
Choose quieter.
Fucking podcasting right now.
Chew quieter.
And now, to the podcast studio.
All right, we're back. It's Chew Quieter. And we've had quite a good run of guests recently, huh?
Yeah, we've been a little busy here trying to get guests and stuff, and not just having our own back and forth bullshit sessions.
Yeah, because we do like the bullshit.
There is an unlimited supply of bullshit on this side of the counter.
Before we continue, I do want to thank Whitney Davis for the Brawler Brownies that she sent. She sent me 2 batches of them, and I honestly meant to save one to eat on
camera
on the show while we're filming. But they're so good.
They didn't last.
They didn't last.
So, yeah,
they just did not last.
Yeah, so I send more.
Yeah, really. So I had.
If you want them on the show, you're gonna have to send more.
I had like one batch with some ice cream, and then of course the other batch with just milk.
Yeah, I had both batches with ice cream.
Yeah, it's really hard not to have it with ice cream, just because it just goes so well together.
Oh yeah. And then I don't do milk unless it's in a cereal, so it's always going to be ice cream.
My wife was like, "Who made these?" I'm like, "My friend Whitney." It's like,
Whitney?
really?
Who's this Whitney?
Well, yeah. Well, I think so. I think Whitney has sent some before, so I had to remind her that she had sent them one other time before, and she was like, "Oh yeah, those were good." Like, yeah, so are these.
This one's mine.
Well, the funny thing is,
mine.
So leading up to the colonoscopy that I had, I couldn't eat any.
Oh yeah.
And so there was like 3 left in the bin, and all of a sudden I'm done with the colonoscopy, and I'll go to get one, and I'm like, "There's only 1 left. What the fuck?" My wife was eating them all. I'm like, "You need to stop eating my brownies right now. Just stop." So, Whitney,
girls,
thank you.
Girls got into some of them, and then I stashed them away, so they're the girls couldn't get the rest of them.
Yeah, that it's hard to resist. So, Whitney, thank you very much for the brownies. They were delicious. We will not be offended or mad or anything if you send more.
Yeah, especially if you want to see them on the show. I mean, we'd have to get them.
Yeah,
get them delivered on a Tuesday because we record on a Tuesday.
Brawler Brownies, folks. If you ever have a chance to grab some from her, grab some. Look for her on Facebook. I'm sure you can place an order. If you find her in Moab for EJS or other events, she might have a tub full of brownies. Maybe she'll give you one if you're nice enough.
Yeah,
maybe. On to other things. I want to say hi to all of our new followers. We had a huge influx of new followers and subscribers, not only to our Spotify, but also to our YouTube. So shout out to all you guys. We're now on iHeartRadio podcast, and also the new YouTube podcast version that they have. So on YouTube, you can watch us or just listen to us audio only. So again, welcome to all of you guys. We're also on Google Podcast, which is going to be going away for some reason, and then we're also on Amazon Podcast now. So it's going to be hard. Yeah, look at us. It's going to be hard to ignore anything from us now. We're just going to be right there.
So speaking of new followers, I did that Salt Lake Off-Road Expo this weekend for Rock Crawler, and I was approached by a few people that wanted to praise us for the show and ask when they can be on. So we have a good list of guests coming. So be on the lookout for some really cool guests to come up in the next months.
You want to give a sneak preview of who is going to come on? No. Any hints?
No.
Okay, fuck them. These new listeners aren't ready for this shit yet.
You're not ready for this. Yeah, if I tell you, then you're gonna be bugging me the whole time. When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? No. We're gonna just put them out when we put them out, and then you guys can be surprised and have fun with it.
So speaking of Spotify and YouTube, my algorithms have been totally fucking crazy lately. Spotify especially. I don't know why, but it started suggesting Insane Clown Posse. And
I could see that.
I don't like Insane Clown Posse.
I could see that though.
I don't know why though. It's just my taste of hip hop has always been 90s East Coast, you know, Wu-Tang, Nas, Biggie, Mobb Deep, The Lox, Jada Kiss, Styles, all that shit, right? And then a lot of West Coast stuff, the Tupac, Dog Pound, Snoop Dogg, Dre, some Too Short, stuff like that. So all of a sudden, I hit the button on my Spotify that says, you know, import other like type music. And all of a sudden I heard, I think his name is Shaggy 2 Dope or some shit like that. And he's like, just like, it's a little monologue before the song starts. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I look at my phone, I'm like, Insane Clown Posse. What the fuck? No, I had to skip that shit. I was not having it.
Well, there's the anytime I say anything about Pandora, it's always, oh, Spotify is better. I'm like, no, I train my Pandora, so I have stations for each section I want, but I also put them into by genre. I put them into by either artist or group or something like that. So I don't ever have like a old 90s rap. I don't have a 90s rap section. I have a Snoop station, I have a Pac station, I have a Biggie station, I have a Dre station, and then so on down the road. So I listen to stuff that way, so it's a little more tailored to exactly what I want to hear.
So on Spotify, you can import your own music also. And then if you click on the button that says play, like if your playlist is done, it'll start playing other music that are like songs that are in your playlist. Yeah. So I think what happened was it knew that there was some Eminem in there and some other rappers from Detroit, including D12 and Obi Trice. So it probably saw that and was like, hey, Insane Clown Posse's from Detroit. We're going to introduce you to Insane Clown Posse. Yeah. And I was like, no, don't do that.
You might Please like don't. This. You might like this. You like this, so you might like this.
And then on another playlist, it's Southern hip hop. And that playlist was done. And it started playing some character named, what the fuck was his name? Young Dolph.
Young Dolph.
And I started looking him up, and this motherfucker is from Memphis. He was one that got shot at a donut shop, I think it was, and killed. Or maybe it was a barbecue place or something in Memphis. But he got shot out in this restaurant.
That sounds about right. All of my Memphis barbecue stories are really close to getting shot because that's just what happens in Memphis, apparently.
But this Young Dolph is just absolute fucking garbage. Like
many are garbage though.
Not only are the beats just awful, but his lyrics are just trash, like absolute fucking trash. So I don't know how he got in. I know actually probably how he got into the record business. So he probably made his own record label.
Yeah.
And forced people to listen to him.
Yeah, drug dealer, had enough money, just produce his own album and push it out. That's how it happens.
Yeah, it's just garbage. Half of the stuff from Memphis is just garbage. Half of the stuff from Florida is just garbage. Half of the stuff in the South is just garbage. I love hip hop. I love the South. But sometimes your music is just fucking trash. It just is. There's no way around it. There's
as long as you keep it out of Houston, I'm good.
Houston is garbage too.
Oh my God. I gotta go.
Who's that guy that sells tamales out of his trunk? I forget his name. Some Mexican rapper.
The Mexican OT?
I don't know what his name is, but
he sells tamales out of his trunk?
Yeah, he sells tamales out of the trunk of his car. He's a rapper in Texas.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. If you say it, I'll know it. But like even Paul Wall is just not good.
Oh, come on.
Slim Thug was all right. Slim Thug was pretty good. Of course, Scarface, Ghetto Boys were good. Chameleon was actually pretty good. He had some actual skill. But I mean, what? There's not that much going on in Houston that's really good.
What was it? Chingo.
Chingo Bling. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that Mexicans that wear those boots with the huge toe
Yeah.
that's like 3 feet off of the toe
Oh yeah.
that curls up.
So, yeah. Okay.
People are going to hate me for bashing on their hip hop right now.
Oh, me too. H-Town is my shit. I don't care how bad it is. It's like it's got a whole different feel and sound than everything else. It's more raw and less produced than a lot of stuff out there. And I think that's what I like. It's real for the streets type of music, like the old school rap.
I'm going to get death threats for this, but the chopped and screwed movement was trash.
All right, I'm out. Fuck you. It's like my favorite.
Chopped and screwed is just it's so
Yes, it's just
slow
so far out there. It's just you just got to get into it. And
oh god, it's see, as someone that used to DJ, doing that chop and screw mix is so elementary and easy. They slowed down the music by like 50%.
mm-hmm.
And they just put on doubles, and it's just chop, screw, boop, 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 pop. It's like, really? That's it? That's all you're doing? What's so phenomenal about that? What's so good about that? And then the lyrics slow down like this and go back and forth to the same record. Come on. Here come the death threats. I already know it.
Yeah, from me. Watch your back, motherfucker.
There goes all of our new followers.
all the followers. Did you look at the geographical mapping of where these followers are coming from? Come on, all from Houston, all gone from Houston.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of new followers, our algorithm says 2.3% of our listeners are female. So,
really,
hi, ladies.
Oh well, maybe we should sneak the peek on one of the episodes we got coming on.
Yeah, go for
soon.
it.
So we do love our ladies, and one of our upcoming episodes. I'm not going to reveal much about who's coming on, but we are going to cover the topic of the females in the off-road and Jeep world. That are a positive force in the development and of the industry, as well as role models, like real positive role models who are
not
doing
influencers,
good. Not
role
influencers.
Models.
We're talking about real positive role models who actually are doing something and getting stuff done, and just the icons of the off-road side. So
yeah,
I'm
excited for that.
Got some fun stuff coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, but that'll be a good one. As far as topics go, I think we've covered a lot of different topics. Some more controversial than others, and I think we've talked about upcoming our men's show. So we'll do some stuff about men's health, both physical and mental health. We're going to touch on. I think we got into a little bit with John Grounds.
Yep.
On the mental health and the struggles that happen every day that the men deal with. And we're not saying that there aren't struggles for women. We're just addressing that we're men and we know these struggles. So,
and it seems to be harder for men to bring those out.
Find help.
A lot of guys want to repress it and hide it and not show any weakness. And I think that's part of the problem for a lot of people, a lot of guys, a lot of people in general, but mostly for guys.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the rock. You're supposed to be this strength, pillar of strength for everything, and stack more on top of it. And sometimes mentally that could be taxing. So we're gonna get on top of that and do some fun stuff with that, and kind of just make people aware that they're not alone. That's the thing, is making sure you're not alone. That's the biggest takeaway that we do with Hero. Is with the military suicides, is that you get into these holes where you're feeling like you're alone, and that's where all these suicides are happening. And it's just a change of everything. You're used to life one way. You go in the military, they teach you how to be a military person, and you may have to go kill people, and you may have to go into situations where you wouldn't normally. And then when they're done, they say, okay, see you later. And they don't teach you how to not be in the military and how to be back to civilian life. So that is very taxing on the mental state of people coming back who were enlisted.
Yeah.
So the same holds true across, just changes.
Mm-hmm. So you brought up John Grounds, who was on last week. Prior to that, we had Chambliss Fuel, owner of Elevated Off-Road and the Elevated Experience. He talked about his shop and the journeys that he's been on these last 2 years during the Elevated Experience. And then before that, we had Jeremy Pierik talking about Rockcrawler suspension. We brought up some of his past, where he went to school, how he started Rockcrawler. And then before that, we had my friend Joey Hamilton talking about politics, which is kind of funny because just the other day, the Supreme Court was unanimous in saying Donald Trump is going to be on your ballot, Colorado. You cannot keep a candidate off of your ballot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see the liberals just losing their fucking mind. Like, oh my God, democracy is dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be the shit show over here the next few months as all this happens. But what you're seeing, the other thing you're seeing too is in Arizona, our Senator Kristen Sinema, who has been a piece of shit, nothing since she came on. She just she's been trying to push this, what they're calling the bipartisan border bill, which actually funds how many billions of dollars to the Ukraine. And they're like, well, why are they signing it? Well, they're not signing it because it's attached to a bunch of bullshit. Just make it this and push it through. Don't push all the other agenda behind it and then say, oh, you're not pushing it because you want the border. No, they don't want to vote for it because of the bullshit that's behind it. So just because there's one little snippet's in the front doesn't mean there's a whole bunch of bullshit behind it. And that's usually what the separator is. And people just see that, oh, they're against this. No, they're not against that. They're against the bill as a whole because there's 8 billion pages of it. And only the first page is what's actually brought up and being pushed right now.
Yeah. And recently I saw that she just vetoed a law that was going to be or that either was in place or was going to be in place, that was going to help jail immigrants if they were caught by the police or immigration. Is that right?
Probably. But today, about an hour ago, she just announced that she wasn't running again for Senate because she claims that it's divisive. She cheated and she's useless, and she says all the stuff she did. I'm like, I haven't seen you since you've been elected. You're never anywhere. You're never on the news. You're never like doing anything. It's never, oh, Kristen Sinema did this. It was none of that. It was always in the shadows lurking like, where the fuck is this chick? And that's been the question for as long as she's been in office. And now finally she's like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm backing out. I'm not pursuing a re-elected. So it's just kind of funny. It's like, well, you did shit. So
in other words, she was a Manchurian candidate in a sense, just so that way a Republican didn't get the seat.
I don't even know. Yeah, probably that's what it is. I mean, we have voter fraud and poll mix-ups. They've counted, and then even the counts are being challenged because they weren't allowing both sides to be in there during the count. So it's like it's a shit show.
Yeah, it's going to be spicy this year.
It's already become pretty spicy. So can't imagine how much more spicy we're going to get, but we're going to get there.
So since we're on the subject, Truckers for Trump. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's essentially truckers standing up for Trump, saying that the New York verdict and the civil case was a kangaroo court, and truckers are boycotting any deliveries to or from New York. And I stand by it. I agree with them. I think if we say Canadians don't have a backbone, and we saw what the truckers in Canada did last year by standing up to the government, I fully endorse all these truckers in the United States doing the same thing.
Yeah. JP, you're going to have to move out of New York. Sorry, buddy. You're not getting some shit. Shit's not going to arrive there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I think it does it I think people underestimate the impact truckers have on this country.
100%. And what is beyond that is that people don't even understand the impact of what the truckers are, who they are, their ideals, which is what most of the country wants to live by. But we have these small little patches in certain states that kind of rule everything, and it's just shitty. So
yeah,
hopefully people get the picture and see that it's all crap.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of crap, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, there was an interview. I think it was on 60 Minutes or some CBS affiliate. They're interviewing some ATF agents, and they're talking about bump stocks, the Glock switch, ghost guns, machine guns, and all of this, because right now the bump stock debate is in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is about to rule on that. And during this interview, there's an agent demonstrating the different guns, and he starts, showing the reporter. So this is an AK-47. It has the folding stock. Puts it down. This is an AK-47 with the bump stock, and he's trying to demonstrate how it works. And of course, he's fumbling around. All of a sudden, he picks up a Glock. He's like, "This is a ghost gun." And this was a P80. There's no such thing as a ghost gun. They just call them that to make them sound scary for the liberals that want to be scared. There's no such thing as a ghost gun. All it is an unserialized frame. So this motherfucker tries to field strip it, and during the interview, and during that. Hold on a second. I'll start playing. I'll play this for you because it's fucking hilarious. During his efforts, he cannot. An agent cannot field strip this thing. Look at this.
An ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Look at this guy. I don't know what to do. Let me cock it again. It's supposed to come off, so he just puts it down. Grabs another one.
He's going to make a new gun for you.
Finally gets
Basically, what they do is they make this part here.
This is like plastic.
So this is the plastic piece. With about 20 minutes of work, they can make it into a working firearm.
And notice that one is
and then
serialized.
they can buy the aftermarket parts and attach that. Simply attach that on.
And to buy
You
those
can't even
parts,
assemble it.
is there any serial number and everything?
You don't have to.
Pieces?
You don't.
Oh, good grief. And these are the people that are telling us that we can't have pistol braces and we can't have silencers without going through all these red tape, all this red tape bullshit.
What was it? 8 months of waiting for your silencer?
So the first one I did a form 1, and a form 1 is essentially make your own silencer.
Okay.
And you could do that in multiple different ways with solvent traps or whatever devices that you want, as long as they approve it. You have to send them the documentation, how you're going to make it, and that whole thing. So that took over a year for them just to say, sorry, we've actually changed our mind and we're no longer allowing people to make their own. So they denied it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to buy a manufactured one. So I said, okay, fuck it. I'll bite the bullet and start the waiting process. And that took 9 months. I had a little extra cash flow, so I decided if I'm going to be waiting another 9 months, I'm going to go ahead and just buy 3 more right now. And that's what I did. So now I have 4, but yeah, the first one was 9 months. The second purchase of the 3 I think that was a total of 8 months.
Yeah, that's.
But now, incredibly, either the e-form process has dramatically improved, or ATF has just gotten off their elbows, because now people are reporting back that their e-file is coming back within a month, 60 days at the most.
Wow.
So it's more appealing for me to want another one, because I do want another one. I do want quite a few more cans, just because why not? So it's more appealing to want, just because the waiting period is no longer months. It's about a month now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. But I kind of want to wait and see what happens, because there are a few cases right now in the courts, and one of them is basically to abolish the NFA, which is the red tape for getting a silencer. I think that'll happen once the bump stock Supreme Court case is over. It'll probably have a snowball effect.
So get rid of everything.
Yeah. And truthfully, the ATF should not be making these rules. I don't care what anyone says. We don't need the ATF. What the fuck have they done good except for stomp on our rights? You know?
It's time.
Yeah.
But the other side's going to go, oh, people have guns. We're still going to have the same amount of guns.
The only people that are not going to have the guns is the good people.
Yeah. It stops us from having them the stuff that we want when we want it. And I don't know. It's that whole argument that we talked about it with your buddy about this. Like, you have a waiting period, whatever. I'm like, okay, the waiting period should be for your first gun only, because chances are you didn't lose a gun for the most part. And if you have 5 or 6, I mean, you have something. If you really wanted to go shoot someone, you could go shoot someone. How many people shoot someone for no reason that have guns or an arsenal of guns? That doesn't typically happen. It's the ones that pick up a gun or buy a stolen gun or some sort of off the street gun and cause that to happen. But just whatever. It's
incredibly biased, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's a liberal policy that we're gonna stop that, but because they look at the liberal policy in the big cities that people are going to kill, but really, let's have some data on those guns that are being used to kill people. Are they registered, or are they legal guns? Are they stolen guns? What are they really? And they don't really release that. They just say, "Oh, it's a ghost gun." I'm like, okay.
Well,
someone got a gun and
is,
took the serial number off of it. So how's that a ghost gun?
And the big talking point is kids are dying. Oh my goodness, kids are dying. You're a murderer because you want kids to die. I'm like, well, okay, first of all, let's look at the facts. they're lumping in teenagers and 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds into these child deaths by gun.
Yeah.
Those are not children. And if you look at those deaths, they're caused by gang violence.
Yeah, it's something else. And what guns are they using? They're not using legal guns.
Right.
So it just goes back to that. And they say ghost guns and just like the 80% guns or anything like that. Someone that was in the street, yeah, you could essentially go buy those and build them, but you have to have somewhat of an intellect to get that done. And most of those kids that are killing themselves with those guns or with stolen guns or whatever guns are getting off the street are not building those themselves.
Mm-hmm. Funny thing you say that. There was a video going around recently, and it got taken down, of a thug in New York going to a bodega and asking the bodega owner, "Hey, fix my Glock. It's not shooting right." So this guy takes video of the bodega owner manipulating this gun so it can shoot. The trigger wasn't being, every time they pull the trigger, the firing pin wasn't being released. So the bodega owner is stripping it. He's looking at it, fixes it, gives it back to the guy. And right there in the store, the thug puts a 27-round magazine right back into it and he just walks out. Like, all right, good. Like, really? This guy's going to come right back and rob this fucking guy.
And rob the store. That's what I was expecting the end of that story to be. Yeah, fix my gun, and then you get robbed with it right there, the same second.
I wish they didn't take it down, because I would love to share that video. It's just so fucking ridiculous. Like you said, they don't have the intellect to assemble these things, and not only that, but they can't even fix their own problems with their own firearm that they obtained illegally.
Yeah. It's nuts world.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. You just got back from New Orleans and last week, right?
Yeah.
And that trip was to go see. Was it to go see that show? Or,
to go see Steely Dan and the Eagles. Yeah,
it was just for that. It wasn't like
it was for that, but enjoyed the city a lot. It's just the second time we've gone to New Orleans in the past 10 months. Plus, we made a layover there when we came back from Miami in August. So it's just the culture, the food, everything about it is just fun. The jazz, like we stayed at. We walked, we got in, I think Wednesday at about 11 PM and we left Sunday about 5 PM and we walked about 30 miles the whole time.
Did you happen to see any second lines?
Yes, there was one second line we saw come down. We were just walking down the street and they turned a corner and then we just like ran over and came around and we just watched it. There was probably 6 or 8 members in that group, and then there was a bunch of people on the stage and in the street, and the whole street was just blocked off, and it was just like people around there singing and dancing. And it was it's really cool to see those pop up and those just get going. It's pretty cool. So we sat and watched that for about 30 minutes. So it was pretty cool. Then they took off.
Did you see any Indians?
Indians?
Yeah. You know about the New Orleans Indians, the big chiefs and all that? So in New Orleans, there was tribes back in the day, like 1700s, 1600s and all that, 1800s. There was tribes, Indian tribes. Yeah. And there were mixed race of Native American and I believe, I want to say either Haitian or just African. And there were mixed race that had these tribes. And what they do now is they continue that heritage. And they put on these huge, elaborate costumes that are just like feathers and made out of beads and everything else. And it's pretty much a second line. but using their own cadence of music, and they're marching down the street and they're dancing.
Just their native tribal music.
Yeah.
Don't think I've ever seen that.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now I have to go look for one.
Yeah, it's from what I've only seen videos of it, but I've obviously never been to New Orleans, so I've never seen it in person. But watching them, it kind of gives you chills. Like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
That would be very cool. I would know if I saw one, but I know I hadn't seen one. But no, it's a must go. You have to go. I mean, we walked probably every street, walked into every little hole in the wall bar that you can imagine. We went out to Frenchman and sat and watched a little bit of jazz. We got some cool cocktails, went to the Jazz Museum. One of the days it rained most of the day, so we planned that day to go to the World War II Museum. So the National World War II Museum is in New Orleans, Nolans. And that was a great day. It probably could be a 2-day trip if you went and looked at everything that's there. So it was really, really interesting from what I know about World War II, what I've learned about World War II, what I've seen from movies and stuff like that. And you get like this much of it, and there's like all these little pieces that make this giant freaking everything about it. I mean, it's just stuff you just don't even know. All the little stories, everyone who's died, everyone who missed their families, everyone who was involved, every culture that was involved, and how it's changed culturally, how they have been since that time. So it's really cool. If you get a chance, get out there and get to that museum and see some of the stuff in there. It's really fun.
They have a Katrina museum too, right?
Yeah, there's all kinds of Katrina stuff out there. When we did the tour last trip in May, we did a city tour, and the bus takes you around like where the levees were, where that broke. We were at the end of Pontchartrain, so this Pontchartrain just overflowed and hit the levees and flooded everything. There's water lines on telephone poles. There's water lines on front of houses. There's water lines on businesses. So you get like the idea of how high that water was and the damage that it was making.
Did you visit the Treme part of New Orleans?
No, we didn't go out there yet. That's probably going to be the next trip.
So my wife knows it's in my will and everything. When I die, my funeral procession is going to be a second line.
Nice.
Living in Tennessee now, it's probably going to be easier than living in Colorado to have that organized. But even living in Tennessee, it's going to be difficult for her to organize that sort of thing. So good luck to her. But yeah, it's that's something that I want when I die, is to have that kind of funeral procession of a second line.
Nice. That'd be very cool.
I want it to be a celebration of life and not people crying about me being dead. Because
it should be a party.
There's going to be more people, pretty much going to be more people happy that I'm dead than anything else. So why not have some good music going to it?
Yeah, exactly. Bottles of rum everywhere.
Yeah. Beer, rum, old fashions.
Yeah.
Speaking of, there's a new sports bar that just opened up in our city. We tried to go Saturday. It was a grand opening and it was just packed. Like there was a UT game going and there was just the poor guy. There was only one person working it. The bartender was serving tables and the bar.
Oh, geez.
So
it's a little place.
Yeah, it's little, but I don't think they expected that many people on opening night. Not much word of mouth. There was no advertisement. So we went yesterday, and the food was exceptional for being just a sports bar. I got a burger with bacon and cheese, and they make the burger with truffle oil. It was fantastic. We went to, so the same night that we wanted to go on opening night for them, we went to a different sports bar in the city and got some old fashions there, and they were just god awful. They made them with grenadine. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
it's not an old fashioned.
No, that's a Shirley Temple with whiskey. It's a drunken Shirley Temple.
Like, you can't just hide it and put a cherry in it and call it good.
Yeah.
There was no orange in it. There was nothing. There was no hint of it being an old fashioned.
Yeah, that's no. So that's the one thing about out in Nolens is the drinks and the care and for the drinks that most of the bars that went to took. Mm-hmm. Like some of them are like super difficult drinks to put together, and that's what they do. Yep. I think I sent you pictures of that Bloody Mary I had with
Bloody Mary.
with Uncle Nearest instead of vodka, because I'm not a big vodka fan unless it's like with orange juice or cranberry juice. But everything else with vodka, I'm just like, I just taste the vodka. Like Bloody Mary, I don't like it because the vodka, that's kind of the deterrent. But that Uncle Nearest Bloody Mary was good. And then I did, instead of tequila sunrise, I did bourbon sunrises. So basically you just take the recipe for tequila sunrise and just put bourbon in it instead of tequila. And those are like my go-to every morning for breakfast. We went to this little hole in the wall place and I ordered a double, and holy fuck. That was a bad idea.
I gotta walk after this.
Yeah, you gotta walk like miles too. It was like we were just walking, so it's.
Can you still take drinks out on the street out there?
Yes, every place that you go to, do you want a road beer? You want a road drink? You want to take this to go? You want to walk in around drink? Oh yeah. And then they have awesome. So if you go to Bourbon Street, so we try to stay off of Bourbon Street. We try to stay as much as we can out of the central bullshit. Although the one place we'd like to go on Bourbon Street is that little cafe area I sent you the picture of, with that little garden area with the beignets and the bands in there. That's probably the only time we really go to Bourbon Street. But it's you got to go. You just got to go. Yeah, you got to experience it.
Before I forget, so my wife ordered an old fashioned from this new sports bar that we went to. And believe it or not, guess what their well drink is? Buffalo fucking Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
That's their well whiskey.
All right.
And it was $8.50. It was $8.50 for a well drink old fashioned.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not at all. And she said it was really, really good. She was like, she takes a drink, she looks at me, she's like, "This is a real old fashioned." And I couldn't have one because I had my gun on me. I was carrying. So the law in Tennessee is you can't even have a sip of liquor. You can't have a trace of liquor in your system if you're carrying a gun. And I don't want to chance it. I don't know if I'm going to get pulled over just for speeding or what. So I'd rather not risk it. I want to keep my concealed carry permit.
Yeah, and get you a DWB.
Right. So, I want to go back without my gun so I can have
give it
a Buffalo Trace well drink old fashioned.
Yeah.
She had two of them.
Good for her.
I was like, okay. Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her. I'm picking for you too there, babe.
Yeah. So, you're going to EJS, right?
Yeah.
And are you going just for the Patriot Crawl and leaving, or are you going to be there for the entire week?
No. So this last weekend I did the Salt Lake Off-Road Expo, Salt Lake City. Flew up and did a booth with the Savvy guys, and I did the rock crawler booth. So I'm doing a couple shows for JP this year for Rock Crawlers, and EJS and Slow X are the two. And then I think I have something at the Rubicon in the summer to do, plus whatever else he comes up with in his in the times from here.
Okay.
So I'll be going up to do the show for Rock Crawler, but we're still trying to nail down exactly when I'm going in and when I'm coming out. If I'm driving, I'm flying, if I'm going to be there the whole week or not. But yeah, the idea is I'm supposed to be there Sunday for the Patriot Crawl, and then probably hang out up the week, Monday kickoff party for Rock Crawler, and then we do setup for the show on Wednesday, and then show Thursday, Friday, and book out Saturday.
And the Patriot Crawl is free for veterans, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Patriot Crawls, I think we're on year 9 or 10.
Wow.
We don't know. no one seems to know. I asked Ray, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, I think we're like in 9 or 10. I'm like, you started this. You got to tell me. So yeah, so we're doing it up again at Area BFE.
Back at Area BFE.
Yeah, back at Area BFE. We did it last year. Robert opened up Area BFE for us last year, and we did everything back up there again. It's great. It's a great space. There's parking. There's enough room for everything that's going on up there. So it's a great place for us to do the meeting. So Robert's been great supporting Hero in that. So yeah, if you're a veteran, you're going to be out the Sunday before, or that first Sunday of EJS. We'll be up at Area BFE. Go to herooffroad.org and hit the Patriot Crawl 2024 button and sign yourself up.
It's a good time. I've been a few times, filmed both of them. There's a lot of vets, a lot of vets.
Yes. And that's kind of the fun thing about that. And I watched it from way back when I was just going to support, and then it kind of merged from a couple of guys just doing the Patriot Crawl to becoming a Hero Off-Road event. So there's been a change in who's really managing it over the years, but now it's housed as a Hero Off-Road event. So watching it come to where it is now, to just all those years of all the vets, and you see them come up, and there's a little reluctance at the beginning for the first years, and then now it's these guys that have been there every year. I see these guys like at shows, here at up in events, and it's the same guys every year. They come, and we have the faithfuls, and then we always add some new ones and some fun ones, and they all come in and they all do the ribbing. It's fun. It's such great fun to see them just get out there and just enjoy a day. There's not a pissed off face in the crowd except for the guy who breaks.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and that happens quite a bit.
well, luckily we just do kind of an easier trail. We send some guys on a difficult trail too, but I think
there's different groups.
Yeah, we split up in the groups. I think this year EJS is just not looking like it's going to be as packed as it usually is. Mm-hmm. So right now we're pushing the registrations, and we're a little light on what the registration is usually by this time. So maybe there's still people on the fence. I don't know, but it feels like they're going to be a little light with who's out there this year. So we'll see what the crowd looks like at EJS.
So for anyone that can't attend, is there a way for them to still donate?
Yeah, there's always a donation page on herooffroad.org. If you want to send stuff up, there's a donation page. We do donations throughout the year, as well as through special events and other functions that we do.
Sweet. I wish you a lot of success for that. Obviously, it's something that I've supported in the past. I still support now. So if I was there, I would film it again for free, just because that's the only way I know how to support it.
You've done great, and we appreciate everything you guys have done. You guys have been there and supported for years, so it's great.
Right on. And what about the fishing trip? Thanks. What about the fishing trip coming up?
So, the fishing trip was only supposed to be a friends this year because we were not going to do fishing with Hero, but Ray and I talked. Ray lives near Salt Lake, so Ray and I talked over the weekend. I think we're going to change this trip to be half people that want to come on the trip and half veterans.
Mm.
So it doesn't cost Hero as much money to run it, and we can have everyone who's going to pay for themselves do it. But we're going to do a support event. So if you have a company or a business or just want to have a donation and do a vet donation to send them, we're going to set that up on the website for people to be able to go and say, okay, I want to basically adopt the vet. is the best way I can do it. And you just pay for the boat trip, gear, and their meals, and it's probably about $1,200, $1,300, something like that. We got to figure out all the logistics with the landing on how we're going to do that. And then we'll go out there and make sure they're supported. We'll get some industry people out there to help us. Last year we had one of the local lure companies out with us, so we'll try to get some more of that going.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good time. But
Yeah,
I'm not going to adopt you,
good.
Sean. I'll adopt someone else. I'll adopt a different vet, but I'm not adopting Sean.
And we were supposed to not mention Shauna this one. he's like the most mentioned person on the podcast is Sean.
Yeah, and he always reminds us of that too.
I know.
I think he said he has the record for the most name mentions in the show. So we got to stop doing that.
There's another one, Sean.
Because fuck Sean. I love the guy.
Yes, definitely.
So my crazy dreams are back
Again?
Yeah.
They're not from the drinking now, or is it?
I haven't had a drink in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay. Since you just had to go for the
for the colonoscopy,
and then you're getting back on your diet.
So really quick about the colonoscopy, right? From what I hear, the process has changed. For those that don't know, I had a colonoscopy, just regular checkup, make sure the plumbing is clear and there's no clogs and there's nothing fishy going on with tumors or polyps building up and that sort of thing. And you should too. It sounds like it's a pain in the ass thing to do, but it's really not. The worst part about it literally is the prep.
Yeah, it's the evacuation is the worst part. The actual procedure is easy. You go in there, they put you under, and you don't even know what's happening. You come out, they tell you got to fart, you fart, and you leave.
Yeah. So I was talking to my dad about it, and he said the last time he had one, they send him home with this substance. It's almost 2 gallons worth of something. He doesn't know. He said it was like a milky substance that just tasted god awful. And almost the same process where you have to drink half of it around 10 a.m. and then the other half around 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So the new process, apparently, that I had the joy of doing is taking 30 doses of Miralax, and you can mix that with a clear liquid. And I chose Gatorade. So
you'll never drink Gatorade again.
It wasn't horrible. So you don't taste the Miralax at all. Miralax. The worst part about that was guzzling 64 ounces of Gatorade within an hour.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like overconsumption of Gatorade. You're just like, I don't never want to drink Gatorade again. And
I still have some in my fridge too. And I'm just looking at it every time I open the fridge.
You won't drink it. I know you're not going to. I was saying it's going to give you an aversion to Gatorade. So it's weird. It's different doctors have different procedures that they want to go through. Because you did the Miralax. The first time I did it was you mix this shit in a pitcher, and you had to drink half the pitcher now and half the pitcher in 4 hours. Over the last few times I've done it, it's been just all roadmap, all different things you got to do. You got to do fleet here, fleet there, and then do this and this there, and it's all just a bunch of crap that's going to evacuate you.
Yeah.
So it's really the doctor, and even my kid. She was having some gastro problems, just mainly because of her diet. When you eat hot Cheetos regularly, your gastro tends to cause problems. So she had to get one at she was like 19, and she had to go get one because she had a weird reflux happening. So they're like, "Well, we're going to check." So she had to go do one, and they had a whole different procedure she had to do. So it's just the doctor that's prescribing the procedure will change it however they want to do it.
So I drank the first 64 ounces of that stuff, right? And I knew I should probably stay upstairs instead of having to run upstairs in case I felt something coming. So I
you only
drank
have
it.
a bathroom upstairs?
Well, I have a bathroom downstairs too, but my comfort bathroom is upstairs. That's where I have my comfort stuff.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
And I get better internet reception in that bathroom. So so I drink the first 64 ounces and I'm in my office and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, all right, so I guess the countdown's starting. I'm thinking to myself, when does this start? When does it kick in? Not a minute after that do I think that and look at my watch. I'm like, ooh, there it is. Oh, there, I gotta go. And I do a sprint to the bathroom. And the first bit of it that comes out is a mix of solid and liquid. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's the most foul shit that I've ever had in a long time. I mean, the first time that was that foul was after a night of eating nothing but Tommy's.
Same thing.
Yeah, and it came out like that too. So for the next 5 hours, it was pretty much every 20 minutes I was running to the bathroom. And after the first dose of the 5 hours, I took the second 64 ounce of that shit. And that one was even worse because at that point it was nothing but liquid just squirting out of my ass. Like Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber, it was worse than that.
Yeah.
It was just complete waterfall gushing and it was not fun. It was funny, but not fun.
No, it's not fun. That like I told you, the worst part about that is the prep, and it's probably 90% of that part. The worst part is the first hour or two as it pushes everything through, and then the rest of it is just making sure little things flush through.
Yeah.
So those first ones, and then you're not eating anything because what are you going to eat? What do you feel like you're not going to want to eat? So you don't eat, and you have did you have the broth?
No, I didn't have anything like that.
You didn't feel like you
didn't even have Jell-O. I actually had a few popsicles.
So I always felt like I needed something salty, and I would just have a little bit of broth.
I bought broth.
Heat some broth in a coffee mug and just drink that, and that kind of pacified any desire for salt that I had.
I bought some, but I didn't drink any.
Okay.
Didn't even make the Jell-O.
Yeah, I never did the Jell-O. I usually just the broth is usually what I get into.
Not a fan of Jell-O, anyways.
Unless it's a Jell-O shot.
Even Jell-O shots I never liked. I was like, I'm not in high school anymore. Even in high school, I barely liked them. So, so the morning of the colonoscopy, I used the bathroom twice. And the second time was mostly just to make sure that I don't make a mess on the fucking table while they're sticking shit up my ass.
Here's a pro tip. You're going to make a mess on the table regardless of what you do.
So, here's the funny part. So they put you under, they give you a dose of propofol, the same shit that Michael Jackson died on, that he called milk. And so I mean, I must have been, as soon as they gave it to me, I must have just knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
because I don't remember fucking nothing at all.
It's the last time I did it. Okay, count down from 10. I got to maybe 8.
I didn't even have a countdown.
Yeah, I was like 10, 9, 8. See ya.
Yeah. So I don't remember this part, but my wife told me. She said they wheeled me back into the room, and I started waking up. And the first question was, did I make a mess?
I'm not even worried about that. They, as much as they charge, they can clean up my fucking mess.
So the second question was, do I get a lollipop after this? And then apparently I said something about, again, I don't remember, but she told me, being a good boy, can I buy a new gun?
Well placed. Very well placed. So what'd you get?
Nothing. I just bought a new computer, so I need to recuperate from that $4,000 purchase.
Yeah.
But as soon as I do, I'm buying a fucking new gun because I was a good boy. I deserve it, damn it.
I got my IOU.
Yeah. So
I got my butt scoped, and all I got was this new gun.
So they send me home. They said, all right, you're free to eat whatever you want. I was like, good. We're going to fucking Huddle House. I'm getting the pancakes. I'm getting the biscuits and gravy. I'm getting some eggs. I'm getting some bacon. Yeah, it's going down. And that sat in my stomach for about a good 12 hours. It didn't go anywhere. The next morning, though, that was flushed out really nice.
Yeah, but so the funny thing is, like, did they show you all the pictures of everything as they scoped through, like different areas that they scoped, where you had one clipped, right? Yeah,
I had one polyp that they cut.
Yeah. And, so did they show you the pictures of like inside your colon?
No, they didn't. And now I feel like I kind of got shortchanged.
Oh yeah. So I usually come home with like a little folder, and it shows like where they clipped, and then like the wall line. Did you see the report yet?
No, but they just called me on the phone and they said everything's good. You're good for another 10 years.
Okay. So I get a report, and it says whatever the lining. It tells you all the findings of the lining and whatever. But the pictures show like your colon's like all smooth and clean. I'm like, all right, so if that's all it takes to clean your colon, what is these people saying? Remove the plaque from your colon and get years of this crap out of your colon. I'm like, what is that stuff then?
Who knows? So I told I think it was the next day, JP called me about something, and he's like, how's it going? Oh no, it was actually the same day I got back. And I missed his phone call because I was still at the hospital. I left my phone at home. And I called him back. I was like, yeah, I just got back from the hospital. I had a colonoscopy. He's like, oh my God, why'd you do that? Just poop in a box and send it off. I guess that's his testing. He poops in a box like a cat and sends it off to get inspected.
Yeah, but
it doesn't sound very thorough.
No, because you're not viewing those polyps. They're not going to see if the polyps just starting to develop with the poop in a box. So how do you know that you're not getting scope? The idea of the scope is to see any growths that are on the actual lining is what you're looking for. So just like you had the polyp clip, polyps will grow there. If you have an excessive amount of polyps, how do you know that? So
yeah,
I don't know.
So I'm good for 10 years. I'm glad I did it.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
I'm every 5.
Oof.
And I was every 2 for the first 8 years.
God damn.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to drink that shit and go through all that madness every 2 years.
Well, wait. That's just for the colonoscopy. Then I have to do biopsies where I have to do the evacuation too. and I do that every 18 months. So, yeah, sucks being old.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the dream. That's how we got on this topic, is because I had to stop drinking for a while to do this shit. So, this one dream in particular, for whatever reason, I always have dreams about buses. If you recall, I had a dream about being on a bus with Rosa Parks, Keanu Reeves, and Sandra Bullock, and they told me
your
that
speed dream.
Yeah, they told me all to go sit in the back of the bus with the other people with the red shoes. So there's that bus dream. And then I had another bus dream where, this bus was just crashing into pillars of buildings and knocking buildings down and shit. So here's another bus dream. And for anyone old enough to remember, Tyrese was used to be a R&B singer before he was on Fast and Furious. And, he had a song back in the day. It's a really good song. I don't remember the name of the album, but the song is called Sweet Lady. And in this video, he's sitting on a bus and he's basically almost daydreaming and he's singing on the bus out loud. And just for a reference, this is the video here. So there he is on the bus. And in my dream, I'm just mad. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut up, dude. Shut up. And he's just singing. And he's like got his eyes shut and he's doing the whole thing, just looking at this chick. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. We're just trying to have a bus right here. And you're fucking singing. Shut the fuck up. And I'm just like giving him stank eye and dirty eye and side eye and all this shit. And motherfucker just keeps on fucking singing on the bus. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Would you shut the fuck up? And that was the entire goddamn dream.
Oh, poor Tyrese.
Fuck Tyrese and his goddamn singing on a bus. Ejectocito, cuzzo.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. That's a good dream. So we saw Tyrese in Vegas with some nasty white girl at the Casino Royale years ago. It probably wasn't him, but we just called him Tyrese.
I saw him
because the Casino Royale is a shithole.
So I don't know if you remember, if you're still living in LA at the time, but they used to have summer jams out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this one year it was at Irvine Amphitheater. And I went because the show was just stacked. It was going to have Nas. It was Nas, Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, Sugar Free, DJ Quick. It was Mary J. Blige, Lauryn Hill, and Tyrese was there. And there was one other hip hop act, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a big name. I almost want to say it was an East Coast artist, but I just can't fucking remember. Anyways, Nas never showed up, which was really bummed because I would have loved to see Nas. But Tyrese he used to have this bit where he would sing that song that I just played, and he would give out his phone number, and whoever called first and he answered, he would have them walk up to the stage, bring them up on stage, and like sit them in a chair, and he'd sing to the girl in the chair on stage. He did that bit for like a good 2 years. That was his thing. That was his like closing act. I mean, it's kind of a pimp move because I'm sure he banged that chick too.
At the end of the show, yeah.
Yeah. So good on him. But fuck Tyrese and his goddamn bust. Shut the fuck up, dude. Stop singing.
So you brought up the summer jams and those mass concerts from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Look up Old School Cruise.
Wait a minute. I remember these.
I don't think I've ever seen this. It popped up in my ads recently. And
Believe it or not, my mom was talking about this. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, look at this lineup. It's like the 80s lineup of Warren G's in there, but it's all
Expose. Oh my God. Expose
Yeah.
was awesome.
You're right. Stevie
Stevie
B,
B.
Zap, Midnight Star, SOS Band, the Manhattans,
Lighter Shade of Brown. Oh my God.
Sugar Hill Gang, Heat Wave,
The Jets.
Honeycomb, the Jets.
The Jets. Remember the Jets? The Jets
Yes.
was a singing family, kind
The
of
family.
like Family
Yeah.
Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I can do it, but you look a little further and you see some of the pictures. I'm like, I don't think I can do this.
Well, it's going to be nothing but old cholas and old cholas.
Let's scroll down on the website page and look at the Making Life Memories and look at that group. You're like, oh wow, I don't want to deal with that shit.
These are all old hoochies.
Yes,
Mom, why are you going on this cruise?
Send her
stop.
Send her that picture. Send that picture and go, Mom, what up?
Look they have a 5-gallon bucket of just beers.
Yeah,
And they all looked super drunk already.
yeah.
The girl in the brown, she could barely open her eyes.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to do a screen share of this so people that are watching this can see what we're looking at.
So look at
this chick.
Wait, so you got that's 2025's lineup. You got to look at the 2024, which is coming up this year. Yeah, that chick in that in the main page. Well, look at the 2024 lineup.
2024. Oh, here it is. Cool in the Gang. Oh my God.
Look at this: Midnight Star, Rose Royce, Barcades, Club Nouveau.
Who the fuck is Rocky Padilla?
I have no idea. Or
Pepe Marquez.
I don't know.
Who the fuck is Pepe Marquez?
I don't know.
I know who Club Nouveau is.
Who's AA Lon? That's AA Ron, fool.
Yeah, that's AA Ron's brother. This is a weak lineup compared to.
Well, look at this: Cool in the Gang, Cameo, Zap, Morris Day, and The Time.
Ow!
See,
Word up!
I would go to see Morris Day and then get off of the next port.
Right. And this is going from San Pedro to Ensenada. That's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
That's a shit show right there.
It is a shit
Mom,
show.
why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah. This popped up and I started looking and going, oh crap. And they go, the idea didn't seem bad until I started looking at pictures online because they have a Facebook page and I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this.
Well, there's a second one for 2024 that's 2.0, and this one's got Confunction, which is not bad. I don't know who MC Magic is.
Climax?
Evelyn Champagne King.
Evelyn Champagne,
Okay.
yeah. Trenier?
Trenier, that's good.
Johnny O?
That's more of 90s freestyle. That's what that is. Or it was the 80s.
The 80s. It was the 80s.
80s
The
freestyle.
late 80s, that freestyle side.
Yeah. Good fucking grief. Mom, why are you going on these cruises like this? Embarrassing me. I would rather go to this 2025 show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Commodores without Lionel Richie, but still.
Yeah. But it seems like a little better lineup for this. You get the Mary Jane girls in there.
Yeah. Bloodstone. Yeah, that looks like a good show. I just don't want to go with my mom.
I just don't want to go.
And
Can I live stream it like KOH?
I also don't want to go with these hoochies that I might bump into from back in the day. Like, orale,
Exactly.
remember me? I remember you.
No.
No, come on, please tell me that we didn't have sex. Please tell me.
You might find a long lost child.
Oh God, that's why I haven't done a 24andMe.
You don't want to know.
Honestly, I don't want to know. I'll do it after after I know that the 18 years have passed since the last girl that I was with out there, because then I'll know that I won't have to pay child support or back child support or anything.
You still gotta know.
I mean, I'll know, but at least I'll financially be, free and clear of it.
God.
Can you imagine if all of a sudden some kid just hits me up? Hey, you're my dad. I just saw you in 23andMe, and we're a DNA match. They were like, go talk to your grandmother. She lives in fucking Whittier. Have her have a look at you first, and then call me back. If you got wonky, you're not my kid.
You look at his mom.
Yeah. Who's your mom? Please don't tell me who your mom is. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Some things are best left kept secret.
My mom is Carla. Carla. Oh, fuck. I remember her. Wait, which Carla?
It's better than Day Day.
I remember Carlinda. I
Carlinda.
bent her over the car fender.
Oh boy.
Why were girls' names back in the day in our old neighborhood so ethnic? Like Esmeralda, Carla, Gloria. And they all fit the same profile. Teased up hair with Aquanet like a motherfucker. Too much eye makeup. And they dressed like guys. They wore white baggy t-shirts and Dickies. What was wrong with us? Why was that attractive to us? At least me.
I was never attracted
Not you.
to that.
Not you.
I was never attracted to that. I'm like,
why was I? What was wrong? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Well, that's the environment.
I'm so glad I got out of that environment. Oh God.
It's the environment that you're in that makes that what is your definition of compatibility, because it's more like me. It's more like everyone else does. So you do some stupid shit when you're in that compatibility side of it, and really going along with what's around you. You're like, holy fuck, what was I thinking? I look back and go, what the fuck was I even thinking?
I hope my kid out there somewhere that might or might not be is not a gangbanger. Just, hey dad, hey, what's up, eh? You're my dad, Holmes. Why do you sound like that, eh? You sound like a square, Holmes.
When you live in the country?
You live in Whitesville? Why do you live in the Whitesville? Like, cuz motherfucker, no Mexican or black has ever tried to kill me. Or I mean, no white person has ever tried to kill me, only blacks and Mexicans. That's why I live in the country. No white person out here is going to try to kill me. Unless I trespass.
Which trespass.
Which is very...
They're right. It's their right at that point.
Yeah. Well, I guess on that note, we can end the show there.
Oh, boy.
Mom, if you're listening, please don't go on that cruise. Thank you. And good night.
Get your deposit back.
Yeah, get your deposit back.
Get your deposit back. Sell it on the eBay. Something.
Yeah. Save that money for your grandchild that you're just about to discover.
What if your mom goes on there and like, hey, aren't you?
Oh my God,
Gabe's mom.
He's got a little son named Jose.
Yeah.
His son's name is Albertino.
Yeah, he's in juvie doing 12.
Oh fuck! What did I produce? This is scary. I don't know if I want to talk about this anymore.
This is the nightmare you're gonna have next with a bus full of little freaking bastard childs.
It's gonna be a small bus, that's for damn sure. Bunch of retards. Bunch of retards that talk like they're on Whittier Boulevard 24/7 selling drugs. Let's go to the Shakey's, eh?
Shakey's.
God damn it! Why did I even bring this up?
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's your fault. Yep.
It's my fault. It's all my fault. Talking about freaking old school cruise.
What's even more sad is
all right.
is
Now we just lost all the new listeners.
you know what's even more sad is we're now classified as old school.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I can kill myself and just end it here, and then I won't
Then
be
you just
more
be
even
dead
more
school.
old school.
Maybe dead
That's
school. Yeah,
fine
it's
with
worse.
me. Then I won't have to pay the child support.
There's no child support.
I won't have any Jose's or Alberts or Hectors come looking for me. You're my dad, eh? Hey, Holmes. Let's go have a Budweiser.
A Modelo.
Nah, the motherfuckers drink Budweiser for sure.
I think they gave up on the Budweiser. I think they're all Modelo now.
No, they drink piss warm Budweiser. I guarantee it. Or no, it's actually Coronas.
Or Coronas.
They're opening Coronas with a lighter.
Or what's the other one? Soul.
That was gross.
The cheaper
It's just a
version of-
knockoff Corona.
Knockoff Corona that's cheaper. Or Tecate in the
My
can.
mom drinks that.
Tecate
My
in
mom
the
drinks
can.
Tecate. Yeah.
That's probably like
That-
the cheapest beer you can find for
That
the most
I
part.
guarantee you they have that beer on that cruise.
Yep. Well, that was a bucket of Dos Equis if you actually look at the
It
top
was,
of those
wasn't
bottles.
The Secchi's, Corona, Tecate, and Budweiser.
And Budweiser.
You ever remember watching those Spanish shows and like all of a sudden you hear an American word from the announcer? You know, like they're doing the whole, this is presented by blah, 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 and Budweiser.
And Budweiser. Budweiser.
Hey, I recognize that word. That's an American word.
That's my language.
Just
Oh,
watching it
geez.
just for the Spanish weather girl.
That's all. That's all
Turn
you're
around
doing.
again. Turn around again.
You're doing. Hopefully the cold front down low.
All right, I guess we're done. We're way off the
Now
rails
we're
now.
just giggling. Now we're just stupid giggling.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. All of our new followers, please don't unsubscribe. I'm
It gets
sorry.
better than this. We promise.
Yeah. All right, folks. Until next week. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.